The biological term given to the red blood corpuscles is the erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are biconcave in shape with the inside part of the cell little thinner and outside quite thicker. The reason for this shape is that the RBCs they can fold while they are passing through the small or narrow vessels. Not only that, there are a few more modifications which happen during the modification of a young RBC to a mature RBC. The loss of various internal cell organelles takes place in case of the young RBC. Generally, a young RBC has presence of various cell organelles like the endoplasmic reticulum. There is presence of nucleus. There is presence of lot of mitochondria and various lysosomes and other structures. But as the cell matures, it loses all these structures, and the reason for that is so that the cell it reduces its volume, and as the volume will reduce, the surface area will be enlarged, and because of large surface which is vacant, there will be place for accommodation of large number of oxygen molecules. So one RBC becomes capable at maturity. One RBC at maturity it becomes capable of carrying four oxygen molecules within itself. So in this way the exchange of gases occur, and it helps in the or it serves as a modification for the RBCs, and this modification helps in increasing the efficiency for the exchange of gases in case of the human erythrocytes. The lifespan of these matured RBC is 120 days, and the erythrocytes, the main purpose of these erythrocytes is the exchange of gases. Other than that, when I say exchange of gases, the taking in, it takes in oxygen from the lungs and transfers it to the different body parts. From the different body part, it takes up the carbon dioxide and supplies it back to the lungs, from where it exchanges this carbon dioxide to oxygen again, and the cycle continues unless we die or the RBC itself dies. So this is how the exchange exactly occurs. But what other functions do the RBC has? RBC has uh, RBC is a very important constituent of the body fluid, that is blood, and it helps in maintenance of body temperature. It also helps in transport of various nutrients along with the oxygen when it is transferring from one cell organelle to another, or when it is getting exchanged even during in the capillaries. At that time also it is serving as exchange of not only gases but also certain minerals within it. It also helps in maintenance of homeostasis of the body. The removal of waste is also done with the help of RBCs. When the RBCs they have very high amount of sugar and proteins accumulated within them, then the blood it becomes impure. So for the purification of the blood, kidney serves the purpose. So kidney helps in purification of the blood, and here one two concepts are to be kept in mind. One is the difference between the impure blood and the pure blood. So, what is the meaning of impure blood? Impure blood means the blood which contains high amount of fat, waste materials in the sense ammonia or nitrogenous compounds, even the presence of proteins, albumin. This all makes the blood impure, and the blood needs to get rid of all these constituents, because these will lead towards the concentration of the blood, and the flow of the blood will be hindered, or there will be obstruction in the flow of blood. So for this purpose, kidney serves the function of purification of blood. That means removal of all these glucose, amino acids and albumin from the blood, and just normal blood is left as such, and that is used for the circulation purpose. Now this was the first concept which is to be cleared out right now. Second concept which is important is the difference between deoxygenated and oxygenated blood. When I say deoxygenated blood, it means the blood contains the presence of carbon dioxide. D means removal of oxygen. So removal of oxygen means presence of carbon dioxide in the blood is known as deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood gets purified or uh, gets oxygenated in the lungs, and from the lungs it brings oxygenated RBCs. Deoxygenated RBC may be pure or impure. It all depends on the presence or absence of other glu- other nutrients like the glucose or vitamins or minerals or even amino acids present in the blood. So these are four terms which need to be clarified: impure blood, pure blood, deoxygenated blood, oxygenated blood. So with these clarifications, I hope it is quite well understood that why human erythrocytes are special, the reason for them, for removal of all the cell organelles so that it can increase its surface area, for accumulation of four oxygen molecules so that the exchange of gases can take place very fast in them. Now, why are RBCs very important for us? We are aware that they help in exchange of gases, and they are maintaining the body temperature. They are also helping in maintenance of homeostasis of the body, and even the exchange of nutrients is also taking place with the help of RBC. So RBC turns out to be very important for our body. How can we increase the RBC count in our body naturally? So for that purpose, we need to consume foods which are rich in iron content, because you all are aware that the central metal ion of RBC is iron. So we need to have food which has high amount of iron within itself. So these are the constituents of different kinds of food which can be consumed in order to increase the blood content or iron content in our body. So spinach, eggs, kale. Kale is a kind of, it is a kind of alga, brown alga, which grows in water bodies, and it is used as a salad. So you can think of this as a cabbage kind of product which can be consumed like a salad. Okay. And red meat, beef can be a very good source of RBC. Some other meats like containing the liver and kidney can be good source of RBC. Dark green leafy vegetables like the spinach or kale, we have I have already said what it is. It is a brown alga. Dried fruits such as prunes and raisins can be consumed so that it increases the RBC content. Beans, legumes, egg yolks, these all are very high sources of RBC, uh, or I should say very high source of iron. So if you consume food which has high amount of iron, so those food substances will add towards the segregation of iron in our body, and with increase in iron content, more RBCs can be formed, because central metal ion for an RBC is the iron. So that's why iron is very important for increasing the RBC content in our body.